Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So, today's video slash storytime topic is definitely something that's like straight out of a Drake and Josh episode. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure there is a Drake and Josh episode that resembles almost this exact story. A little bit different than the episode, but pretty close. And I think it's hilarious. Well, not funny what happened, but funny that's close to a Drake and Josh episode. And it's just all around a crazy, ridiculous situation. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do. And let's just get into it. There's really no other way to start this other than to just jump into it, right? So, today's story all starts off in 2017. Okay. Now, in 2017, I was living in LA. I was, pretty stupid. At this time, I thought I knew what like real life was, and like I was, out in LA living on my own, so I just knew everything, right? Not really that important to the story at all, but I don't know. I just wanted to make fun of myself for a second because back then I was a little cringe. But anyway, this all starts off as a normal day in 2017. I was in my apartment in LA cooking up some dinner. I usually don't cook, but on this day, I was making ramen noodles, so I don't even know if you can consider that cooking. But yeah, I made my gross ramen noodles. They were actually really good, not gross at all, but they were definitely bad for me, so I'm going to call them gross. And yeah, I ate those, kind of sat down for a little bit after that, played some video games, just some real gamer shit, some real nerd shit. And while I'm sitting there playing some CSGO, I get a text message on my phone from one of my best friends back in my hometown in New York. Let's call him Seth, okay? Seth texted me, and he's like, yo, man, are you coming to my birthday this Friday? Now, Seth was back in New York. I was in LA. It's a 6-hour plane ride. I had no plans to come home. But Seth was one of my best friends, and I wasn't going to miss his birthday. So I called him immediately, and I was like, yo, dude, I had no idea it was coming up that quick. I'm out in LA right now still. I'm 6 hours away by plane. But you know what? I'm buying a fucking plane ticket right now. I'll be there on Friday. He's like, yo, you don't have to do that, man. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, nah, man, fuck that. I'm gonna be there. I'm not missing this shit. So yeah, I jumped up out of my chair, went to the other room, grabbed my wallet, came back into my room, my office room, sat down, grabbed my card, went online, bought a plane ticket that very same minute. And yeah, on Friday morning, I was on a plane back home to New York, to my hometown, to go and hang out with my friend on his birthday. Now, upon landing in New York, nobody knew I was home yet. I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my friends. Everyone that was in my hometown had no idea that I was there except my friend on his birthday. So I went and I kind of surprised everyone. Everyone was stoked to see me. It felt good to surprise everybody. It was cool to see everyone. And I had some time before the party started on this night. My friend's birthday party wasn't until like 8 p.m. So I had some time to kill. So I invited one of my other friends, let's call his friend Brian, to lunch. Because I hadn't seen him in a while. Wanted to go hang out with him. So me and Brian decided to go to this diner, like, I don't know, 10 minutes away from my house to grab lunch, catch up. He was also going to the party later, so we figured we could just go together. So yeah, it was all working out, right? So me and Brian meet up. We go to this diner. We sit down. And we start eating some food, as you do at a diner. And we're just catching up, chilling, talking. And while we're at this diner, we see none other than Seth's dad walk in and sit down to get lunch. Now, this was crazy, like a very crazy coincidence, because literally me and Brian were going to his house later because Seth was having a birthday party. Now, I don't know if his dad was going to be there. I doubt it, because it was like an actual party. But still, it was a crazy coincidence that we even saw him there. Now, Seth's dad knows me. So yeah, I was about to stand up and go over there and be like, hey, how you been? And just as I'm about to stand up and go say hello to him, I see this woman walk into the diner, about the same age as Seth's dad, walks over to the table, and Seth's dad gets up and kisses this woman, who is not Seth's mom, by the way. And I'm like, yo, what? And Brian looks at me and he's like, is that Seth's mom? I was like, no. Did they like divorce or something? He's like, no, bro, I was at his house 4 days ago and like they're still married living together. So immediately my whole fucking like world explodes because I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, did I just catch my friend's dad cheating on his wife? Because like Seth was someone I grew up with for years and his parents were always very like happily married, so I thought. And they had no problems, so I thought. So seeing Seth's dad, kiss this random woman, I'm like, okay, either we just caught him cheating, or they're like separating and Seth doesn't know or like hasn't told anyone yet, right? So I figure, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to say hello to Seth's dad. and pretend like I didn't see that, because I don't even want to be involved in this drama at this point. So I get up out of my chair, I walk over to Seth's dad's table. Yeah, I walk up to his table, I get up there, I'm like, hey, how you doing, sir? And he's like, Austin, I did not expect to see you here. I thought you moved out to California. And he gets up and he gives me a hug. And I was like, yeah, great to see you too. How you been? He's like, pretty good. And then he turns and he points to the woman, and he's like, hey, this is my friend. Her name's Cameron. Cameron Austin. And I was like, oh, cool. Now, I don't think he realized that I saw him kiss her. But you know what? That was fine by me. I really had no plans on asking on why they kissed. I just kind of wanted to say hello, maybe get a little bit of info and then leave. And then I'll talk to Seth and Brian about it later. But right after he introduces me to his woman friend, Brian, my dumbass friend next to me, comes up. He goes, hey, sir, how you doing? And Seth's dad's like, hey, Brian, how you been? And he goes, who's the woman? And he's like, oh, it's my friend Cameron. Like, I just introduced Austin, Cameron, Brian, Cameron. And then Brian goes, are you guys dating? And I just wanted to fucking facepalm, dude. Like, Brian didn't really have a way with words. He didn't really know how to navigate situations without being really, really intrusive, I would say, like, with his questions. And Seth's dad's like, no, Brian, we're not dating. We're just friends from work, getting lunch together on break. Like, I'm married to Seth's mom. Come on. And when he said this, it blew my mind, because at first I thought, Seth's mom and Seth's dad split up and they just weren't moved out yet or something, and we didn't know because it wasn't our business and they were dating other people. But that just confirmed that, like, he is out with this woman cheating on Seth's mom. Now, I had two choices. I could say something and, go about my day, or Brian's going to say some shit anyway, so who fucking cares, right? Sure enough, Brian speaks up before I can. He's like, wait, so why'd you kiss that woman if you're still married to Seth's mom? Isn't that cheating? And Seth's dad immediately loses his shit. He's like, what are you talking about? That's like blasphemous. Don't accuse me of that shit. I wasn't cheating. I didn't kiss her. What are you on about? And then I spoke up. I was like, sir, you definitely just kissed that woman, not to get in your business, but like, if you're still married, maybe you shouldn't be kissing other women. And he's like, you guys are crazy. You guys are fucking insane. You just don't even talk to me. Get the fuck out of here. He starts getting mad, right? Like, getting real angry at us. And we leave, because we're like, all right, we're not going to sit here and cause a scene at this diner, because he was getting loud and people were starting to look. So we got our stuff to go, and we left. And we went home. We had to figure out what we were going to do, because we had to either tell Seth and potentially ruin his whole birthday by breaking his family up, or not tell him and tell him another day. So we decided, you know what? It's probably best if we just tell him now. So we called him on the phone before the party even started. And we're like, hey, man, we just saw your dad at this diner with a woman who is definitely not your mom. And I think he's cheating. Like, we saw them kiss. He denied it, but, like, we saw it happen, so we know that he's lying. And Seth was like, yeah, man, he's been cheating on my mom on and off for the last, 2 years. So he knew about it. And I was like, oh, shit, man, my bad. Like, I didn't mean to, get in your business or whatever. He's like, nah, man, don't worry about it. It's really not a big deal. It's horrible. Don't get me wrong. I feel like shit for my mom. And I was like, have you told her yet? He's like, nah, man, I'm going to tell her next week. And I was like, damn. He's like, yeah, it's been hard. Like, I've been trying to kind of get the courage to do it. And I was like, yeah, fair enough, man. And yeah, a few days later, not even a week, he told his mom, and she dumped his ass instantly. And now his parents are both single, unfortunately. Kind of a sad ending to that relationship, to say the least. But it was the right thing to do. I'm glad that he told his mom, and I'm glad his dad got divorced, because he deserved that shit. And guess what? His relationship, the one that he was cheating on his wife with, failed as well, a month later. So he really got his karma. So yeah, if there's any moral to this story, it's don't cheat. Cheating is very, very fucked up, and that's that. But yeah, guys, that's the story of how I caught my friend's dad cheating on his wife. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
If you see me, stay away. Got 'em all fucking with me, yeah, you know they all know that I'm always gonna do the most. I drop the top, everyone stop. Tell my hometown and say adios. I'm in the back of the crib with some G's.